Hey y'all, and welcome to Monner's Market. And I am just going to jump straight into today's video. This is going to be probably one of the shortest videos I've ever done, but I have 3 easy farmhouse DIYs that are sort of high-end and spring decor, and all of this cost me less than $10. This sign was 100% free. How could it be free? Let me tell you. So the ribbon and stuff I already had on hand. The other day, my husband bought me some new brakes for the truck, and inside of each box were these little pieces of wood, and it already had the corners cut out like that. And he chunked them in the trash to begin with, or a trash pile, should I say. And I was like, no, keep that. That's a piece of wood. I can make a sign out of that. So I pulled it back out of the trash, and this is what I done. The first thing I did was took some white Waverly chalk paint after I sanded it down. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I did sand it down, as you saw. And then I took the white Waverly chalk paint and I just gave it a really good coat of paint. And once I got that paint done, I took this printable that I printed out, and all I did was I Googled farmhouse free printables, and this is what I found, and I loved it. It matches. If you follow me and you're not new to my channel, welcome first. But secondly, if you go back and look at some of my other videos, you will see that I have been redoing my kitchen with all of these characters here. So this sign actually was perfect for an addition to my new kitchen. So I took the printable and I took this thing 10 different ways, y'all. My first thought was to just go around the edge of the picture and just muck it up. And I wouldn't really call it distressing it, but I just took that black ink chalk paint and sort of dabbed. And then I took this green, sort of army green color from Apple Barrel and dabbed it all around. And then after I got the green on there, I went back in with some more of the white Waverly chalk paint and dabbed it all over it. But I was not feeling it. It was ugly. It looked like a kid had done it, and I just did not like it at all. So after I did that, I even had my twine in front of me, and I thought, well, I'll just wrap some twine around it. That'll help. That'll make it pretty. Nope, wasn't feeling that either. So I went in and cut the twine off and went to plan C. 3rd time's the charm. So after I got all of that twine removed, and I did save the twine so that I can use it for future projects. So after I got all of that twine removed, I took the black again, the black ink chalk paint by Waverly, and I just went around the entire outside edge of that picture. Now, once I got it done like that, I was a little bit happier, but it still just needed something. And I couldn't figure out what in the world that something was. Well, it dawned on me that the black was too black. So I took some ivory chalk paint by Waverly, and I sort of just distressed around the edge of the picture and a little bit on top of the picture to just make sure that ivory was kind of added all in, and it just kind of brought it all together. Still wasn't liking it. So I went into my ribbons and I found this ribbon that matched perfectly with not only the picture but the other decor that I had in my kitchen. So I took 2 strips of it and put one down each side. And then I took several different ribbons that I have, and I just made this little simple messy bow. Generally, when you make a messy bow, you want to add, 2 or 3 strips of each ribbon, but I literally just did 1 strip of each ribbon. And I want to say I used 6 or 7, maybe 8, I don't know, I didn't count it, of my different ribbons that all matched with this color and style, and just put them all together. And I simply took a piece of twine, wrapped around the middle of it, and tied just a simple little knot, and then used that twine. I almost wrapped it to where the twine was on the bottom, and I thought, well, no, because that'll just add one more element to this bow. So I tied the bow on the very, not bow, but the knot on the very top, leaving that twine as another piece of ribbon, if you will, that kind of completed my little messy bow. Messy bow. Blah, 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 blah. Get my tongue untied. And then once I had it how I liked it, I just glued it down, and that was it, y'all. There is my free sign. Now, yes, the ribbons did cost me something, but it's something that I've had on hand forever and ever. The printable was free, and the wood was free. And that was it. This is how it turned out. And this one, I'm saying, cost me nothing. Absolutely zero, because I took that piece of wood out of that box and out of the trash and just tried to come up with something that would match my kitchen. So make sure you leave me a comment down in the comment section and let me know what you think about that. What would you have done different? How would you have painted it different? Would you have left the twine? Should I have added some twine right around the middle of that ribbon? I did think about that too, but let me know what you think. This is how I left it. And now this is DIY number 2. I had this little bucket for years and years, and I don't even remember where I got it from. Don't remember where it came from. And as you see, it's fairly decent, but it was just dirty from years and years of just throwing it here and throwing it there, and I haven't used it in forever. So I took my white Waverly chalk paint, and I just gave it one super good coat of paint all over. And I wasn't real careful about making sure it was 100% covered up, because I'm just going to re-distress it back down again anyway. So once I got that good coat of white on there and let it dry, I went back in with my ink and just brought back all of that detail out. Front, back, sides, bottom, top, whatever. I just went all through it. And then after I did that, I also went in with some of this brown apple barrel paint and just added a little bit more distressing to it, just to give it a little bit more color and depth and dimension and all that good stuff. I did end up getting it a little bit too dark, so I went back in with my white and went back over it again, and this is kind of how it turned out. So I took one of the ribbons that I got from, I want to say it was Walmart back at Christmas time, and I got it after Christmas for literally I want to say 50 cents. It was 75% off, and it was normally $1.99 or something like that, but it was pretty cheap. And I ended up buying all the rolls they had there. I think I have 3 or 4 rolls of this, just to add a little bit of something to the bottom and give it a little bit more interest. And that was all I done. Who else is a messy crafter like me? Look at all this crap I have accumulated by my table. And if you watch all my videos, you'll see as I'm working, I just chunk it down on the floor and make a mess. But I took this piece of foam that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I sort of just pushed it down to make some grooves. Now, I probably could have just kept pushing and it would have just cut it anyway, but then it would have fallen down into my bucket. So I took my little scraper from Cricut and used it, and this stuff cuts like butter, y'all. It was so easy to take that little thing and just cut right there where those grooves were, and that was all I had to do. And then once I got it cut down like I needed it, took my little mess, threw it right down on the side with the rest of my trash, and ended up taking this and putting it down in the top. And I did end up going back with my glue gun and going around between the bucket and the foam. I'm a little bit out of camera there. I apologize for that. But I did that just so that when I went to push my florals down in there that I'm about to show you, it didn't fall down in the bottom. And I didn't want to make it heavy by filling it up with a bunch of stuff, and so that I can put my foam there and it still be at the top of the bucket. So once I got it down, got it all glued on and it was dried, I took these beautiful, beautiful blue flowers that I got from the Dollar Tree and added those to it. There's only 4 of them there. So that is $4 of my less than $10 video. Each one of these, of course, coming from the Dollar Tree, cost me $1. But look at these. I mean, Dollar Tree is so up in their game on their florals, and they are just beautiful. I don't really have anything in my house that's this color, but when I seen these, I could not pass them up. They were so pretty. I had to grab some. So I think I only grabbed 4 at the time, actually. So it worked out perfect for this particular DIY, and that's how it turned out. So again, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Should I have added a bow to the top of this? Now, the top of the bucket, but the bottom of the flowers. I started to, and then I felt like it would be too much. And I knew I was going to ask you for your opinion. So what would you have done? Would you have added another bow? And if you would have added a bow, where would you have put it? Y'all help me here, because you know I'm new at this stuff. But for now, this is how this turned out. And I thought it turned out pretty cute. I like it. I was super happy with it. And it was one more thing that wasn't just thrown to the side that I wasn't using anymore. So I'm probably not going to leave it in my kitchen because it does not match in there, but I will find a spot for it. And when I do find that spot, I'll show you where I put it. And this is DIY number 3. This is a rewind. This is a shelf that I actually done last year when I was brand spanking new to YouTube. But I love this shelf so much that I had to show it to the ones who are now new subscribers. See that price tag? $2.99. So $4 in the flowers, $2.99 for this shelf that was huge, and $7 plus, the other ribbons and stuff. So I figured less than $10. This whole entire video, that's all it cost. So the first thing I did with this is dropped the daggum thing and busted the whole corner. And I was so mad because this shelf was in excellent condition. I mean, it was just in perfect condition. It was super sturdy, wonderful. All I had to do was take those little jewels off that some little girl took a lot of pride in bejeweling her shelf. And I ended up having to fix the whole stinking corner. So what I did is I just sanded that little corner back down. And later, just before I paint it, you will see me take my little nail gun and fix the little edge there that I just about knocked off. So I took my scissors and I popped off all of those little bejeweled thingies and removed my little price tags. And then I just grabbed my sanding gun or my sander, whatever you want to call it, and I sanded it all down and got it ready to paint. Don't you hate it when you get tongue-tied? I have a thought in my head, and sometimes I just cannot spit it out, and it's so aggravating. And this is me right here taking my brad nailer and just firming up that end of the shelf that I broke when I dropped it. Now, this paint right here, I got for $2.50, but I used it for something else. So I'm not counting that in on the $7 that I've already spent because this is left over from something else. But it was a beautiful, beautiful moss green color, or sage moss. It's kind of all the same if you ask me. And I just went and I gave it a very good coat of this green to make sure I try that again, Brenda. Covered it all up in the green. Once I got the whole shelf painted with this beautiful green color, I went back in with the white Waverly wax. Now, I said that slow because I would have called it chalk paint because I'm so used to saying white Waverly chalk paint, white Waverly chalk paint. I know I'm a broken record when it comes to that. And then I also used this see, there I go again, the truffle Waverly chalk paint. God, I get so tongue-tied trying to say that. Anyway, I took the two colors and I just went through and distressed the whole entire thing. And once I did that, I was completely finished. And there you have it. That is it. All finished for $2.99. So make sure that you go down into that little comment section and leave me a comment. I want to know a few things. Is this your first time here? Are you a regular? How did you like the way these turned out? Which one was your favorite? Just talk to me. I will be happy to talk back to you. So until next week, or until my next challenge, I will see you soon. I post every Monday if you are new to my page. And then I have an occasional challenge that I'll join in on. So thank you for coming to Monner's Market. You can also find me on Instagram and Facebook at Monner's Market. And I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye, y'all.